This is the Texas Multifamily Masters Meetup. My name is Ben Suttles. I am the co-founder of Disrupt Equity. We are also partners with the Multifamily Masters, and we are the hosts of their meetup in Houston. We have partnered with Mr. John Montero, Mr. Neil Bertram, Mr. Anton Matley, and Mr. Ronnie Phillip out of DFW to create the Texas MFM chapter. And we do this virtually every month. We're probably going to continue in some way, shape, or form moving forward because I think everybody tends to like these types of things. And I think some things are still always going to be virtual. We are getting back to an in-person event next month. I know, John, you guys probably have some stuff coming up too, or you're at least in the planning phases. But we like these virtual events because we can, drag in people from, all parts of the country. So, Disrupt Equity, I'll go ahead and kick it off as an intro. As I said, co-founder, along with a gentleman named Faris Musa. We own assets here in Texas, as well as in Atlanta, Georgia. We love Florida as well as the North Carolinas. But Texas right now is keeping us pretty busy. We're vertically integrated. We have a property management company. We also do insurance as well as financing. Partner with Mr. Anton Matley from Peak Financing and Mr. Dan Kaderko with Strategic Insurance Group. But ultimately, we're deal guys. We love buying apartment complexes. We love managing apartment complexes, and that's ultimately what we love to do. And tonight we're gonna also have Mr. Dax Ferguson talk about Heritage Construction, who's been a great partner of ours since we got in the business several years ago. And he's continued to grow, and he'll be able to kind of talk to you about some of his cool technology that he's got going on, as well as just the services that they provide. So I'm going to go ahead and let some of my co-hosts do their thing and introduce themselves. I think everybody might be able to unmute themselves, but let's go ahead and go with John. You want to go ahead and give us a little intro?
Yeah, good evening. Thanks, Ben. My name is John Montero, based here in Frisco, Texas, in the DFW area. Full-time multifamily acquisition and developer. We have in Texas, DFW, San Antonio, and Houston, with our June upcoming closings, 5,400 doors under management, just over $500 million of assets under management with my co-GP partners and my investors. Very bullish on Texas and multifamily. That's where we focus all of our efforts and attention, and look forward to a good session here with Dax. I'll hand it over to Anton.
Thanks, Sean. Hi, everyone. Anton Matley with Peak Financing. I live very close to Sean, also in Frisco, Texas. But I'm originally from Switzerland. I've been in finance all my life, so I have been involved in commercial real estate now for around 30 years, so that dates me, but that also gives me the benefit of having seen a lot of ups and downs and all the good and the bad. And with that, also have seen which assets do well during downturns and which ones recover fast. And multifamily is definitely one of those that has always performed extremely well coming out of a downturn. Obviously, we do not know what the future holds, but I think it's an asset class that is a very good position going forward. And I'm on the financing side. Again, I'm a co-founder and CEO of Peak Financing. We help with multifamily deals, but we also do other commercial real estate. It's just a very strong focus on multifamily, and we help a lot of syndicators and family offices and the high net worth individuals with financing. We call it in the middle market, essentially, typically anywhere in from the 2 million mark to around 70 to 100 million mark. Above that, it's really turning into institutional. So let me turn it over to Ronnie.
Hey, Anton, thanks for the intro. Name is Ronnie Phillip with the Kingland Group. We're a real estate private equity firm based in Dallas, Texas. We focus on Class A and B multifamily across the Sun Belt region. We bought and sold 572 units across Texas and Georgia. And happy to be here. Excited to hear Dax presentation. We've used Heritage Risk before, and they're a great company. So thanks. I'll hand it off to Neil.
Hello, everyone. Neil Bertrand with the REIT Group here. We are also a vertically integrated investment firm headquartered in Austin. I head up our Dallas office. We currently have 90 million in assets under management with about 1.4 billion in new development we're breaking ground on by the end of the year. And let me tell you, Dax is a great guy to make a 2 a.m. cigar run with in Los Angeles.
Hey, don't tell anybody about that, man. Come on. No, I appreciate it, guys. You know, thanks for the intro. I'm gonna steal a little bit of his thunder. Dax is not only a great general contractor, great construction firm under Heritage, but also just a great guy. And I think, you know, as everybody's probably had some level of, you know, dealings with general contractors, they're a different breed, but you can certainly have the very, very bad, and you can have the very, very good. And so you want to ultimately work with the people that know what they're doing and actually, you know, do what they say. And Dax is that guy. And ultimately, he has a strong beard game, just like Ronnie. So we like him. It's just different color there, man. That thing seems like it's grown the last couple of months.
Yeah, I'm
man.
trying to get it as good as Ronnie's. I'm not there yet. That was my
inspiration. That thing before Miami or what? You know, come on. You know. But no, I'm going to go ahead and hand it off. I don't want to steal too much of his thunder. But once again, thanks, Dax, for joining us.
Thanks for having me, guys. I really do appreciate it. You know, if I didn't talk about my family and how I got started in this business, I wouldn't be doing myself any justice. So we're gonna start there talking about the family. So you know, I've owned Heritage. We started in 2011, and we've done. Goodness gracious, multifamily. We started in single family, dabbled in multifamily, and then went exclusively multifamily in 2016. I've been married for 25 years, just celebrated that in January to the lovely lady on the picture there. I have 9 boys, ranging from 23 to 6. Yes, all boys and one at a time. No doubles, no triples, none of that, just one at a time. And for those that are asking the question, yes, I do know what causes it. So we'll go on from there. But today I'm going to talk about a couple of things. Due diligence is a big part of what we do. And it's a huge part of kind of peeling back the onion on these properties that you're looking to buy. So I'm going to talk about our due diligence program that we have. And then I'm going to talk about a new thing that we just launched. It's a new app and we call it Capex, and it's a Capex Calculator to help you figure out where you're going to spend your money. And it goes all the way through and basically spits out a quote for you at the end. And I'm going to show you guys that so that you can help dial in where you want to spend your money. And then you can send this to your lender, Anton, and they can use this or where you're going to spend your money for your Capex. So starting with due diligence, we take about 40 pictures on each interior. So we walk through and we'll take pictures of flooring, cabinets, countertops, and all that. And we give classifications. Is it good, functional, or need replacement? And so you'll have those for all the different questions that we ask there. It's through Excel spreadsheets and also through picture reports. You'll have the report. You can actually log into it in real time, but you'll have all of our drone footage and all the other add-on stuff that we do. You'll have that within 48 hours of completing inspection. Again, you'll have real-time access while we're doing it, and then you'll have post-inspection access indefinitely to your files so that you can look at them at any point and go back after you've purchased the property. Several of the softwares, property management softwares that are out there, you can import this directly into, and it will go into their unit file. So unit 201, you can download all the pictures to that, and it will integrate so you can keep historical records of that. You can also
Dax, don't mean to steal your thunder here, man. Can you put that on full screen mode? by any chance?
You're not on full screen mode?
No, it looks like you're just kind of where you can see your notes on the side.
Oh, thank you for doing that. How about that?
There we go. All right.
Sorry, guys. And then you can download the PDF and have that. And then we have a report builder function to it to where you can look at any item that you want to. So if your refrigerators, you want to look at how many refrigerators you need to replace, you can dial it into that and it will tell you how many refrigerators need to be replaced and what unit they're in on the report. So there is that function. So for you spreadsheet guys, this is just a small sample of what the spreadsheet would look like. You'd have the unit number, the building it's in, the floor plan type, if that was available, you know, 1-1 or the floor it was on, whether it's occupied or vacant, you know, washer, dryer, water heater, HVAC, all this stuff. And it goes across the board. This is probably, I don't know, 30 sections long, but I only can fit a few onto this so you could read it. But just to give you an idea of kind of some of the detail that's on your spreadsheet. And then you can export this into Excel file and look at this any way you want to. For those picture people like myself, you have a real simple one. This is a quick glance of, you know, what everything's at, what category it's in, and then the pictures of everything that we took. And again, this is another sampling, and it tells you, you know, if it's functional or not on the pictures, so you can look at that as well. One thing I want to point out here, we take a picture of the tag that's inside of the appliances if they're available, so that you can have that information for later. So you can look at the serial number, make, model, the 800 number if you have a warranty issue or things like that. So all of this will be in your report moving forward. Sewer scoping, we fly, I bought 2 new drones this year. We have 6K cameras on those drones. So we do a flyover, what we call a marketing flyover. So we start at the sign, we'll fly over it so you can see current condition on flyover. And then we zoom down and we fly it down on the roofs to do the full inspection of the roofs. This way we can travel around and travel with the drones and get that data. We also, something we've incorporated over the last several months is water conservation. A lot of people are wanting to do water conservation. And, you know, there's several companies out there, but like SAS, I'm going to use them for example. You know, they have certain parameters. They do an inspection themselves. However, our due diligence report, I've incorporated what they do in their inspection report. So I have gallons per flush, the rough in measurement from the wall to the flange, so that you have all that data so that they can actually give you a better estimate on their reports that they're trying to give you on what kind of savings you're going to get. So that's all been incorporated now. We bought a foundation level so that we can give you if it's in tolerance or out of tolerance. We're not experts in that field by any means, but we have one and we travel with it so that we can give you some general ideas. Hey, it feels off, it is off, here's your variations. You need to get an engineer or a foundation company out here to inspect this for you and give you a true report, or if it's within tolerance. So we do that. And then again, our drone footage. And then I'm going to go into a couple other features that we do. And if you know of Matterport, Matterport is a 3D imaging of the interior of a unit. We walk every floor plan type, and we do Matterport in it, and it will give you a 3D image walkthrough of every floor plan. So one of the cool things about this, if you don't have measured floor plans, you can get that from the Matterport, or if you want to measure countertops or cabinets or any of that, you can actually do that in Matterport now. And it has some measuring tools that will really help you so that you can make some decisions on what you want to do in your Capex budget. So that's something that we do now in every floor plan. And then we do 3D modeling on the exterior of the building. So this is more for vision casting, right? So if you're wanting to change the color of the roof, you want to change the color of the siding or the paint, you want to paint it. We can do all that through this 3D modeling, and you'll have a good idea of what this place will look like post rehab. So if you're vision casting for your tenants that are there and you're saying, hey, look, I know, you know, you're going through some construction. Let me show you what it's going to look like afterwards. A lot of people are really liking the feel and the look of this once we offer this. So that is down and dirty, kind of what our due diligence model is and what we offer there. The next piece I'm going to go into is our Capex Calculator. And so I'm going to go here, but I have got to share a new screen and hopefully this works. If not, I'm going to have to back out and redo this. There we go. Can you guys see that?
Boom, got it.
Okay. So I'm going to give everybody that's online access to this today, tell you where to go, what to do. If you do due diligence with us, you get this for free for a year. If you're on this webinar, I'm going to give you access for free probably for the next 30 days. And you'll be able to log into it. We just finished up beta testing. We still have found a bug or two once we launched the app a couple of weeks ago. But I want you guys to play with it and look at it. And when you're analyzing deals, use this for that. So basically you log in and you set up your user profile and all your personal information. And then we've set up a dummy little property here in Moneyville, Texas, because that's what we all want to talk about is money, right? So
yeah.
It's in Moneyville, Texas. And then so that's all the property details. So the price you purchased it at, your Capex budget, how many buildings are on the property, how many units, and then down here is going to be the percentage of units you want to rehab. So this is for interiors. So if you want to change that to 60% of the interiors or 30% of the interiors, that will extrapolate through the whole program and allow you to see what that budget's going to be. Then you go to the floor plan type and type in, it's all pre-populated except for the unit type. You need to type how many units of that and the square footage of those unit types. So again, I've pre-populated this for today, but you guys will have to fill those two line items in. And then this is existing amenities. What existing amenities are on the property that are already there and then we're going to talk about what you want to add. So now we're going to go into the renovation budget. So I budgeted $2 million for this property. And with my current rehab, we've only hit $1 million and I'm at 52% of what I budgeted, just to give you those numbers. So are you going to do water conservation? Yes or no? If I hit no, it brings it to 0. But if I hit yes, it automatically calculates all the bathrooms that are on the property and gives you a price for that. We used a general number here, and it's good for any water conservation company I've ever used or come across. It's $300 per toilet, and that will take care of your aerators and your shower head as well. So just to know on this, our variance on here is about 10%. We could be about 10% high on here, but we did that really because we don't know where the market's going to go and just try to protect you of really getting into a bad situation. So this is a pre-bid kind of pricing, if you will, so that you kind of have this to look at.
And Dax, Ben, just for people like me who are blind, can you kind of maybe expand it a little bit? Is that possible?
Now you're asking me to get really technical.
Maybe down at the scroll bar down below at the bottom of the screen.
What I was looking at, I can't from actually this shared screen.
Gotcha.
I'm full screen right now.
Okay, no worries.
So I apologize. So here is the paint. If you're gonna paint your interiors, you're gonna paint or no paint. Again, you'll just click either one there. I want you guys to play with this, so please download it and look at it for yourself and do that. And then this last one is flooring. Are you going to do LVT throughout? Or are you going to do LVT in the wet areas and carpet in the bedrooms? So I just put LVT throughout. Then you have, once you get down to the kitchen plan, you're going to have a silver level, a gold level, and a platinum level on here. And if you just pick silver, it will just paint your countertops or resurface your countertops. But if you want to paint your cabinets and you want new appliances, you can click on the buttons in there and it will automatically add to your pricing up top. So that automatically keeps up tabs of where you're at. Since I've already done your flooring and your walls painting, that part won't change. And then we can add LED lighting if that's what you want to do through there. And that's in the kitchen. And then you go to the bathroom, you're going to do the same thing. And I've already pre-selected a few things here. Then you're going to go into your building plan. So are you going to paint your exterior of your property? Are you going to paint your front doors or replace with new? And then you have lighting for your patios, your front doors, wall packs, patio doors, all this different stuff. Roofing, if you want to do that, we have a calculation that's going to give you a general idea of roofing. I would say that where we fail in this area is going to be on flat roofs. It's not very accurate for flat roofs on a property. So that's something that I would have to really go in and measure myself. And I can do that via satellite, but there's no real back-end calculation that I can put in here. Just a heads up on that. But that's really for pitched roofs. Then you're going to go to your amenities. Do you want to add benches, dog park, dumpster enclosures, monument sign, outdoor kitchens, all that? You just kind of come in here and select how many you want to do, and it will pre-populate that over here. It's going to give you a budget line item for playground of a small playground, and you can add to that. And then we're going to go to the miscellaneous. The miscellaneous is going to be bucket list items. So if you have erosion control, you want to think about, do you need to add some money over here for erosion control? So it's more for you to think about and add a budget line item in. There's no way for me to tell you how much to spend there, but I want to give you a thinking point to add some dollars to these. And then parking lot, are you just going to seal coat your parking lot or are you going to do an overlay? And I'll take that to 0 and just do a 2-inch overlay here. So now you see I've created a budget up at the top, if you can see it. If not, I have, and I'm at 101% of our budget. So I've exceeded it a little bit, but again, you have about a 10% variation on there. And then here you go to the summary report and it will give you what that quote looks like and where you're spending your money. So Anton can look at this in the lending process and help put all this together and know where your Capex budget is going to be spent so that he can put things together for you on that. So it's a tool, guys. It's not a Bible, but it's a tool to help you guys understand where you can spend your money. Make sure that you don't forget some items that are often forgot, like erosion control and landscaping and parking lot. They're often missed. And so we're trying to just get you guys to think through everything when you're budgeting for your Capex while you're analyzing your deals. So go from there. Let's go back to here.
You're good on time too, man. So, you don't feel like you got to rush through it.
I just want to leave some time open for questions here as we get here. So. Shared the wrong one, I bet. Is that the full screen there, guys?
Yep.
All right. So if you've got an iPhone, iPad, you can go to Capex in the App Store and you can download it. If you don't have anything Apple, you can go, depending on the browser. I found some browsers you still have to type the www in. Most browsers you do not, so just try it either way. If you have questions, I want you to email myself or Dan. It's Dan or Dax at heritageccs.com. He runs our due diligence team, and he also is the creator of the Capex software. He is a programmer. He's very smart, and he'll be able to help you guys with any questions you may have on that. And then if you're just wanting more information, like to set up a time where I can demo one-on-one kind of this as you're maybe doing a property and you want help, or Dan, if you'll text the keyword CapExact to 33777, we'll be able to connect with you there, and you'll go into our database on that piece. So I wanted to leave a little bit of time for you guys to ask questions, so we can talk about it. I could talk about construction, but not something, I felt that I needed to go into today. We do construction in 10 states. We're Texas, Oklahoma, to the Carolinas and Florida, and every state in between. This year, we're actually doing a big project in Des Moines, Iowa, that will start in the next 30, 60 days. I can talk construction all day long, but people get bored. So I like talking technology.
This is the cool stuff, man. So, all right, I'm going to grill you a little bit, and I want everybody, I'm sure, he kind of went a little bit fast, ask questions in the chat box. I'm going to try to get through them. I was going to ask, you'd said that if you do due diligence with you get this for a whole year afterwards, correct?
That's correct.
All right. And not to put you on the spot, but just give us a range. What does due diligence typically run per door?
So we charge $500 setup and $50 a door for due diligence.
And you get all those renderings, you get all the stuff that you went through.
Correct. The only thing that you do not get is plumbing scopes. And we recommend a third of the property. Some people do more, some people do less, but that's our recommendation. And those are $250 per line we scope. Okay.
Love it. All right. So let's see here. I'm going to start asking some questions. Mr. Garza said, great presentation, Dax. What is your lead time?
So lead time for due diligence is typically we ask for 2 weeks. We don't always need it, but we ask for it. If you give us a heads up saying, hey, I've submitted an LOI, I'm just waiting on approval or whatever, that's our heads up. So we can kind of pencil you in, and then, we kind of know when it's going to close so that we're ahead of the game. That's always helpful. Not always able to do that, and I get that and completely understand, but we ask for that. Like right now, my guys are out just because we're getting into vacation time. We're booked up all this week, all next week, and half of the following week.
Not bad. So I'll try to give you a little bit more than the next day, because I've done that a couple of times too, man. And you've always been so gracious about it. I appreciate it. And Dax does, for people that you didn't mention this, but you do a lot in Georgia, Florida. I mean, some very big states where a lot of the people that are tuning in are going to be investing in. So he's the guy, as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to especially bigger projects and stuff that's going to be out of Texas too, because there's a lot of folks that might be here, but can't go elsewhere and can't do the types of jobs that Dax can. So,
yeah, I would say that our average job has increased over the last couple of years. I would say our average job is more in the $1.5 million to $2 million range these days. The biggest job we've done is 14 million. But we'll do smaller jobs too. I'm not saying that. I'm just trying to give you guys a ballpark of kind of where our sweet spot is. We're doing large scale stuff. We in Memphis, y'all probably heard me talk about it. We did 256 doors interior in 9 months, full renovation, heavy turns. And we did exterior, and it's a 568 unit property. We did roofing, exterior paint, some siding repairs, clubhouse, office, parking lot resurfaced. Again, that was a $12 million job we did in Memphis last year, and we did it all in 9 months.
Not bad, not bad. So Mr. David said, how do you account for rising material cost in this platform?
It's the hardest thing to do. So because it's cloud-based, we are monitoring that and trying to keep ahead of that as best we can. Again, it's a tool. It's not, it's something for you to budget by, but materials are going to go up, up. Right now, I think they'll come back down. I just don't know when. And the biggest player in that right now is your wood, right? So when you get into wood replacement and things of that nature, you want to talk to somebody, but we're pretty dang close.
And you're also putting, like you said, you're putting some buffer in there too,
I
right?
am.
So yeah, I think that should also help, with any kind of day-to-day swings. So
Another question that I get, and it's in line with that question, is labor. Labor prices vary from state to state. So if you use Heritage, most of our labor comes from Texas, and we house them in properties where we're working. So that's how we monitor our labor. But if you're doing labor in Florida, I know, for instance, that labor alone could be a little bit escalated. But I think with the buffer that we put in there, you're safe, just so you guys know, because that question gets asked a lot.
Okay, all right. So Mr. Neal said, Dax, you didn't mention timeframe to deliver the due diligence report.
So yeah, so it's in real time, so you'll have access to it in real time, but within 48 hours, you'll have it in your email box.
Okay.
You'll have a full report.
All right. How do you estimate granite or new cabinets? And then secondary question, do we need to provide the measurements in the app as well?
So only square footage measurements, which is on your OM in most cases, you'll have that there. So that's what we're asking for. Granite is a general kind of rule of thumb per kitchen in these apartment complexes. And so we kind of have a standard for that. Not many people are replacing cabinets. In fact, in all the years I've done it, besides your one-off where it's flooded and you had to replace cabinets, general concern, they're not replacing cabinets throughout the property. It's found to be cost prohibitive.
Yeah, it's
in
expensive.
most cases. So we don't do a lot of that. And so you're not seeing that often.
Okay. All right. So Kathy's asked a question here. How do you adjust costs for market and or finish levels?
Yeah. So your finish levels are going to be what you add into the scope. So if you look and you did a gold and you move it to a platinum, it's really you're adding materials versus finishes. You should get the same paint job and let's say the same flooring no matter what, right? So that's not going to change. Your finish is going to be your granite or laminate, which is a change in material, and that's in the app. And then what was the other part of that question? Sorry, Ben.
I was just saying, how do you adjust for cost for market and or finish?
That's going to be a labor adjustment, which is covered through the variance that's in there.
Okay, good deal. All right, so they're kind of coming in now. Mr. Garza had another follow-up question. How many units can you walk in one day?
So it depends on how big the team is. So if you have a 500 unit property, I'm probably going to send a team of 6, and they're each completing about 30 units a day. So that would be a 2.5 day due diligence period. That's pretty standard for that. So if it's you can just extrapolate from there. So 30 units a day per person. I typically don't send a team smaller than 3.
Okay. All right. Virginia asks, will you send a link to the due diligence webinar? So Virginia, we'll send out the recording of this webinar. So everybody that has registered for it will get it. So just be on the lookout for that probably in the next couple of days. But
hey, Ben, I got one more statement that I didn't talk about. So thanks to you, you really got our wheels spinning on doing lease audits. And we have included lease audits into our due diligence now. It's a $10 per door, and we do a full lease audit. And something we're working on right now, again, because I'm super geeky in technology, is making our lease audit, our due diligence replacement report, and our cap exact all communicate together, so that if you do have things on the replacement report, there's going to be a number of items, and that dollar amount will go into cap exact, so that it will already be included in your Capex budget. And then on your lease audit, like if you have dogs in there, and you're only charging for 10 dogs, let's say, but when we do our due diligence, you have 30 dogs on the property, it's going to give you the delta of what you're missing. So it'll automatically speak to the lease audit piece and give you the delta of what you're missing on your lease audit.
So let me just tie it together. So the report will communicate with cap exact, excuse me, and then ultimately quantify the things that you're going around taking pictures of and reporting on.
That's correct. And we will have that piece launched at your event in Miami.
All right. I like it. No, and I think for people that like me are kind of geek out and, don't have a life, we're underwriting deals at night and on the weekends, and, some deals are going to be hairier than others. It's nice to have this type of tool to really kind of dial in that Capex. I think a lot of people do this thumb in the air, oh, 3,000 a door or 4,000 a door. And it's so high level, and sometimes you're just shooting yourself in the foot trying to do it that way. So I love this tool, and I love that you actually, I know we talked about this a long time ago, and you actually pulled it off, and I love it, man.
Yeah.
All right. So I got another question here. It says, could or would you come to California for the right project? He goes, the Texas labor savings would likely be a pretty big savings. I don't know if you'd get in trouble with the unions out there.
The answer is no. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. No, I won't.
Yeah, you've gone to Phoenix though. You've done a lot of stuff in Phoenix.
Yeah, I mean, I go a lot of places, but California is one I won't go to.
Don't blame me, man. Don't blame me. Well, I think ultimately the regulations out there, I don't know if you could just roll into town and do some of the work that you do.
Okay.
So Brandon Jenkins asked, Ben, which event are you guys having in Miami? Brandon, come on, man. No, I'm just joking. It's the MFIN conference. We're doing it in Miami. I think it's July 24th. I should know that date, but I don't. www.mfinvestornetwork.com. Mr. Dax is one of our sponsors, going to be speaking there. Going to roll out some new, features on what you guys are actually getting a sneak peek on tonight. And ultimately, it's a fun one-day event where we're going to have a lot of panels and a lot of speakers. So there's my sales pitch on that. Let me see here. Any other questions? Let's see. I think we might have covered everything, man. I love the 3D rendering. I love Cap Exact. I think it's great that you can tie everything together. And ultimately these reports are something that you can drop on your lender too, like you had mentioned, and they're going to love the specificity of this versus, I typed it up in an email or, some kind of an Excel spreadsheet, right?
That's what Anton's used to, but.
Yeah, but I mean, you come with a full blown report from a general contractor like yourself, it's going to come with a lot more weight. And so this is a cool tool. So for the novices amongst ourselves like me, okay, I know I don't have an iPhone. You said that you're going to give everybody that's on this webinar a 30-day trial. How do we go about doing all that?
So if my screen's still shared, you can go to www.capexact.com and you can set up your free trial. Oh, well, you'll just log in. It'll let you in because we have it open right now.
Okay. All right. And then everybody who wants feedback. So,
yes, please.
you guys are beta testing it a little bit right now. So I think that's probably the biggest thing that he needs. So Manish asks, I got a question here. What's the minimum number of units you'll look for or look at? I'm assuming
on due diligence.
Yeah, that's what everybody's
So
talking
there's
about.
2 questions. If it's outside of Texas, I won't go for less than 100 units. If it's inside Texas, depending on the area, 50.
All right. Well, let's do this, guys. I know, you know, I'm sure some people probably still have some questions. Dax, can you stay around? Usually we
Sure.
do a little bit of a breakout room,
Absolutely.
do a little bit of networking. I'm sure some people probably have some follow-up questions that they just didn't want to drop in front of everybody else. But so this is going to kind of wrap the presentation section of the meetup tonight, everybody. We appreciate you tuning in. Dax, thanks for, you know, so it says capexact.com is not working. You know,
Type in
try
www.capexact.com because
yeah, try
some
a different
make you-
browser too,
Yeah.
if you would. Sometimes the browsers are going to jam you up. You know, and you know, obviously Dax, you know, if you'd like, it's up to you, or if you want everybody to kind of talk to Dan, you know, drop your contact information in the chat as well.
Okay.
But I'm going to go ahead and probably do a 15-minute breakout, everybody. And then I'll kind of bring everybody back, and then we'll probably do one last breakout. Whoever wants to stay around can. We appreciate everybody tuning in. Thank you to my co-hosts who always do a great job. You know, and you know, we'll continue to roll these out virtually on a month-to-month basis. You know, even though we're going to be doing some in-person stuff here coming up. So